says, on what? Matter of fact, yeah, we started verse 28. It says, for which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost.
You niggas don't count the cost. You niggas is just full of emotion, anger. See, I heard a quote somewhere, and tell us this is not us. We talk a lot about vengeance and revenge. We don't want revenge, we want justice. There's a spirit to that. See, vengeance is, again, the scriptures do speak about it, but you gotta understand that. Like, take it to another notch. Revenge is anger. Justice is like, it's righteousness, it's proper, it's right. You get what I'm saying? Like, what we're looking for the Lord to do for us is justice. We want justice for what this devil has done to us. We don't want revenge. Yeah. The scriptures say, render not evil for evil. But what the Lord is going to do is righteous indignation, is justice. You know, you got that? I got it. Yeah, go ahead, dude. I want that loop because, see, these people.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and as you just saw there on the screen, this was from our camp yesterday on March 1st, and that was the Captain Abba speaking on justice. Right before that, he was talking about the economic protests that people are trying to do now, and how our people are screaming out for help, sometimes talking about revenge, but that we truly want justice. And that is true. This is exactly what we want. That's what we need. And we have to wait on Yahweh Shai to do that, for that to be fulfilled. And that is coming soon, but in the meantime, he told us to occupy until he comes, which is crying out unto the Lord, waking up the elect, and coming back to the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai. And so we do cry out and cry and sigh for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof, but it's really and truly for justice, for things to be made right. And this is the etymon of the word justice, the exercise of authority and vindication of right by assigning reward or punishment. And we want the Lord to exercise his authority and punish the heathen, punish this world, punish the 2/3, because things are so far skewed to the left, so far out of balance, that there is no justice. There's no true judgment in this earth. But we want the Lord to judge this place and put things back into its proper order. It's also quality of being fair and just. And even that word fair, that goes into whiteness. And that's why they called themselves that, to keep people off the trail, that they're actually completely corrupt. And so they put the term white onto themselves, trying to say that they're pure, innocent, fair, in which they're not in any manner. And so we're calling out to the Lord for justice. It says moral soundness and conformity to truth. And this place is in complete darkness, so there's none of that whatsoever. I want to get that word vindication up from the top, where it says the exercise of authority and vindication of right by assigning reward or punishment. So vindication, act of avenging or revenge, which we want the Lord to do these things. Wait ye on me, for vengeance is mine. We want him to, because he's the one who was wronged. He came and was completely perfect on this earth and got falsely accused and was crucified in the worst manner ever. It's his revenge that we're waiting on. And that's what will vindicate us, the Israelites. But let's get into the scripts. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 6. It says, "My people hath been lost sheep." The Lord's people are the Israelites, and the Israelites are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the scattered, anyone who comes from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are his lost sheep. Those are his people. It says, "Their shepherds have caused them to go astray," and that is completely true. You've got Al Sharpton and all these basically charlatans, because they really work for Esau, but they've led our people astray. It says, "They have turned them away on the mountains." Mountains are governments. They've gone from mountain to hill, from big governments to little governments, and they have forgotten their resting place, because our resting place is in the mountain of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It says, "All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said," which the adversaries are all of the heathen nations, everyone outside of Israel, and our number one adversary being the Edomites, who are self-proclaimed white people, including those small hatters. It says, "And their adversaries said, We offend not." Because they really think the Lord's blessing them currently, and that since we went off, they could just do whatever they want. It says, "Because they have sinned against the Lord." And we did. And so the Lord put us under our adversaries. It says, "The habitation of justice." And that's the point there. The Lord, the habitation of justice. He is just and true. And we're crying out to him to make things right, to set things right. It says, "Even the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the hope of their fathers." And that is our true and only hope, is for the Lord to come and bring justice to this earth, and to vindicate the Israelites through Yahushai, because it's really Yahushai's vindication that needs to take place, and he's waiting for that to take place. Jeremiah 30 and verse 12. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous." Grievous. And we went off from the law, statutes, and commandments. We broke it. We broke the first covenant, and so we had to be punished for it. There were penalties to pay, and those penalties are the Mosaic curses in Deuteronomy 28, which also show that we are those people, that we are the Israelites. But we went off, and he judged us, and it was a horrible, terrible judgment. It says, "There is none to plead thy cause, that they mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines." There's no balm or ointment or pill or surgery that could possibly put us together. We're completely traumatized from slavery, from all of the injustice that has been brought onto this earth, onto us, onto the Israelites. Verse 14, "All thy lovers have forgotten thee." Those are all the other nations that we were seeking after. "They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one." Because those curses are no joke. It says, "For the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. There's sin upon sin upon sin. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. We went off, and this is the penalty for it. But now the Lord is waking us up. We're standing on our feet, and we are crying out for justice, for things to be set right, because it went way too far, way too far. And the Lord used the Edomites to come against us, mainly, and they just went way too far. And so justice has to be served, because they stole our heritage. That's identity theft, and that's unforgivable. You got those people over there in the land saying they're the Lord's people when they don't match the prophecies on the right hand. They match the prophecies on the left hand of the Edomites taking the Lord's land. And they're the same people that own the ships that got us over here. They're the same people that run the banks that completely take. They run banks unjustly. They run the media unjustly. They manage the planet in an unjust manner. They're destroying everything. And there has to be, they get a penalty as well, because everything that we did to end up under the Mosaic curses, they've done, but far worse. And they're not even the Lord's people, but they put this Bible onto them, and now they're going to have to feel the judgment when justice comes. And so these people that did this, Wisdom of Solomon 2, this being the Edomites speaking, Wisdom of Solomon 2, and we'll start at 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Why would you oppress the poor? They're already down. It says, let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. And actually, I want to get this in Isaiah 47. Where is it? Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, this being the Israelites. He was angry with us for going off. And it says, and given them into thine hand, this being the Edomites. He gave us into their hand for punishment, but they went way too far. It says, thou didst show no mercy upon the ancient, hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. They showed no mercy whatsoever to us. And that's what we've been under. And so we are crying out for justice. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. This is basically the inward thoughts of the elite of Edom, of the nation of Edom. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. It just said, put their yoke on the ancient. It says, let our strength be the law of justice. So, letting your strength be the law of justice. And they even have the saying, the strong over the weak. Slovakia, I can't think of it right now. Let our strength be the law of justice. That means they're immoral. They're going to oppress the poor, the needy, people in need that do need help, instead of lifting them up. They're going to put them down and take everything that they possibly can, because the thief came not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And the Lord looks down on that type of thought. There's no justice in that type of thought. They try to think that through war they'll create peace, but that's impossible. You can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. Let's go shed blood to create peace, which when Yahushua comes back to bring justice, their blood is going to be shed, and they're going to be put into chains, and that will actually bring peace. But they think they're Yahushua. They think they have this God complex, and they think that they're in charge of all that. But the Lord's going to have to bring that back onto them. This is Ezekiel 45:9. Thus saith the Lord, power, let it suffice you, O princes of Israel. So the elite of Israel, remove violence and spoil and execute judgment and justice. Take away your exactions from my people, saith the Lord, power. That's how it's supposed to be. Justice and judgment is supposed to be executed in this earth. But violence and spoil should be taken away, because it don't make no sense. You can't operate like that. Jeremiah 30:16, because everything's going to be put back into its rightful order. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. That is justice. And all thine adversaries, so all our enemies, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And you can read Psalms 83 to see all of the enemies of the Lord and of the Israelites. And for what they've done, they're going to go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. As thou hast done, it shall be done. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Because the Lord's going to come back. He's going to lift the Israelites up and above all of the other nations. And what they did is going to happen to them. And that's justice. That's judgment. It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. So they completely destroyed us. We've been traumatized. And as it said earlier, our wound is incurable. That's how destroyed we are. And we need the Lord to come restore health unto us, which that goes into the word indemnify. Let's try it in the Merriam. Salaki, give me 1 second. I'm going to find this. Alright, I'm back. Here it is. With an N. Indemnify.
Look at that. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now?
But now much more often means to make good after loss or the damage of property. That's a insurance term, which I remember it being to make whole. Or down here, indemnify comes from the Latin word indemnis, which means unharmed. So Lord's going to restore health unto us. So he's going to make us whole again and heal our wounds. And that comes from him ending the curse that has been on us. Revelation 22:3, and there shall be no more curse. No more curse for the Israelites. We won't be under those curses in Deuteronomy. We won't be the tail anymore. We'll be the head. We won't have all these strange bruises and health scares and things. Will be out of this flesh, and will be over the nations. We'll will be the head. And as for our enemies, they will be the tail. The Lord said he's going to put all these curses that were on us onto them, which is justice. But the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. So that curse is coming off. The Lord is going to bring justice to the nations through judgment, because what they've done needs to be judged. And that is why we are sighing and crying all throughout the week, every single week. Our mouths are never shut on the injustice that's been done to us. And so we're crying out to the Lord for justice. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.